we've got some FACEIT League for you. We got some EMEA expert matchup here. It's Monday. Happy Monday. We're kicking off our week here. All right. Sorry, I'm just getting caught up, getting loaded in. We got Veltto taking on Supershy here for today's matchup. Sorry, I don't have much lead in for you on this one. All right. They're just getting into some map bans. They got to, of course, here an expert. You're going to go through all 5 of our picks and bans here at the top of the series, including hero bans as well. Supershy squad we have had on a couple times now. This is your #1 team in the division. Your only undefeated team left in the division. Lunar coming in at the helm here this season, and they have just looked fantastic. Libby has been on an absolute tear. It's their 3rd season in the league here in Season 4. A little bit of a different look this season, so I'm not even gonna, we've touched on their past before, not even worried about that here today. You can go find some of their previous matches if you want to know about some of their previous history. But it's a new roster here for this season, and my have they look good. And they've taken down a lot of the top contenders here. This isn't just a, an easy schedule kind of scenario. You've got wins over Negative Mental, Meave Drawn, Potofu, Good Guys are all looking like top. And then you have, Quick Academy, Pytel. But, so they beat the teams they should. They've beaten the tough matchups, the close matchups. So far this has been nothing but aces for Supershy this season, and against a lot of the tough opponents here, right? Like you can see all these names. They've already checked 3 through 7 off of the list here. The mystery team in Veltto is the one remaining. So this team 9-1. I recognize Reich, from previous FACEIT League seasons, but that is about it. Right? Like, there's not a whole lot of name recognition. I don't have much for you on this team. I know that Reich and Vale are going to be your DPS players with Ghostic leading the way on tank. I also know that Veltto is Finnish. That translates to either sluggish or lazy. And so it's kind of a theme with this squad. Apparently, they don't practice at all. They don't scrim. They just show up and play their officials. When that's just, they just show up and have a good time. They don't have a team logo. They don't have a Twitter handle. Like, it's just a group of friends who just show up and play. I don't have verification if they're friends. Like, maybe they're just a group of players who played before and they're like, yeah, all right, we'll play together. Sure, why not? Like, I don't even know how much synergy or previous history this team has. It's a complete Rubik's Cube. It's a complete mystery. It is a mystery wrapped in an enigma. Was covered in question marks and painted green, some kind of Batman villain. But hence why you just got the default Overwatch logo here in the bottom corner. I just went with the default white and gray. It kind of is on brand. Like, that is apparently part of the brand of the squad, which makes it even that much more outstanding that they're coming in with a 9-1 record. At first I thought this might have been a little bit of an ease of schedule kind of thing. First season in the league here. This is our first look at Veltto on stream. They lose their opening match to Meave Drawn. Okay, really tough team. But then do in fact have a little bit easier strength of schedule here through this part. I was skeptical. I still am a little skeptical, I'm not gonna lie. But I will say, a win over Potofu. A Potofu who's proven to be a pretty darn strong opponent, pretty consistent opponent. So with a win there, now Veltto is really starting to pique my interest. So far, nobody's been able to beat Supershy. I think Supershy are clearly your favorites coming in here. It's how does Veltto look? Like, how does this squad look against the best in the division? Is this a real contender? Is this somebody that, is this a dark horse we really need to keep an eye on? You kids showed up cheering on former teammate Reich. Nice. I'm sorry if I butcher it. Reich, I think, is about as best as I'm going to get with my Texas upbringing. Former teammates on Team Gambit, correct? So, yes, with Veltto meaning sluggish or lazy, and, Supershy, we kind of got the battle of, the lazy versus the bashful here today. Our map pool has been finalized here. It's going to be Nepal, Blizzard World, Esperanca, Suravasa, and Havana. Okay, kind of a tried and true, with an exception they're going to be in Nepal. It's been nice seeing Nepal make a little bit of a comeback here. Torben has banned out. It's Veltto banning out the Hazard, and Supershy banning out the Torb. All right, we're headed to Nepal's kickoff week 6. We got 3 weeks left, including this week. Veltto coming in 9-1. Supershy 10-0. Wait, I could have swore I put week 6. Okay. Okay, fine. Ghostic Veltto coming out on the remote from J9 just immediately finds Lucio right out of the gate. Oh my. And setting the tone here in the opening 10 seconds. Supershy will find first blood, and Lunar's going to chase it down. Let me go fix something real quick. Alright. There we go. First cap going over Supershy. Get a bit of a reset here. I didn't see what happened there. Matter get in. I mean, the far out from J9 obviously gave Veltto a bit of problems there in that first one, and keeping on that far right side, Ryan has no option but to go phase first with Lunar. Was facing pressure from both sides there from the DPS. Ghostic will get caught. The Immortality Field to touch late to try to save the Ramatra's escape. We're getting another clean fight here. Trade out from Ollie at the very end. Does find Zolibi. Could be an opening to try to push back in. Rasu hanging on this aggressive flank. Oh, I love this skin. This is one of the new skins. Oh, it looks so good. Hiding in the bushes. Rasu sneakily trying to ambush a Tricer. Taking that dual veil. Does at least force out the recall as we head back over. Tanks battling up for high ground. Ollie tried to sneak in through kitchen. And here comes Ghostic try to help him out. Vasutazil able to open it up, though, with taking Reich out of the fight early. It takes a lot of the punching power out of this composition here for Veltto. Ghostic tried to just protect their spawn, make sure they have a clean way back onto this point. Reich able to find some revenge here. Momentary +1 for Veltto as they move back onto this point. Ghostic from the high ground. What do you got to work? You got an Ant Matrix to work with. Coming up on a couple more ultimates. Got to keep an eye out from the barrage from J9 on the return. Playing off of Koda's side. Cage fight thrown in from Lunar. You have the Ant Matrix down low. Lucio lands the Sunbreaker just in time to save Ghostic. I don't know if it's going to be enough to save the map. Or at least the sub-map. A very low Zolibi will get tracked. Excuse me, Rysic will get tracked down. And the barrage, I mean, it was a 5-ult fight coming out from Supernova. From Supershy. I was doing a project this morning that had 2 separate Supernova teams that got the name in my brain. Sorry, Supershy fans out there. My bad, my bad. Ollie falls, and this was right. It was momentary success there out of Veltto's. They were able to grab a fight win and some control. But with Ollie getting picked off so early in this, what's going to be final fight for the map. Oh, what a flick out of J9. That was disgusting. This is going to be a cleanup here from Supershy. They'll take the first round. Did you guys have warm-up? What's going on in match chat? Did you guys have warm up? Nerds. Real ones don't scrim. Masutazil comes in on the Ilyari here. Always fun to watch. Get a Ilyari play. A little bit of Kindu Zen and a little less glass cannon, but definitely more all in on the poke style. But, you know, very fitting here for Sanctum. Although, I mean, yeah, the entire composition is just hold this half of the map. A lot of damage being poured in from every single player out of Supershy right now. Full map control. This is going to be... Ghostic needs to come take this bridge and really take away a lot of the space. But you got to do it without taking too much damage from all of the insane amount of poke coming in. Ollie's able to swift step out. Lunar holding the choke. 10% on the board for Supershy. Yeah, this is not a hold the choke kind of composition. That would be... Veltto would be ecstatic if Supershy would want to go play it close. That's not at all what they want to do. Rush in on this left side. Do make it into the inside room. And attempt to try to close this gap, make the map a little bit smaller here for Supershy to work with. And grab the Mega just to put the fire out. Ooh, an ambush on a message to Zil. I don't know if they just got a little cocky on that one or didn't see the ambush coming. Either way, they get caught flat-footed there in the back. It's a good start for Veltto, but there's still work to be done. And with the big accretion landing, yep, Rock puts Ghostic back, watching a respawn timer. The container rush is not going to be enough to hold on to this point. A momentary flip. The J9 smells blood in the water. Is going in looking for more. And so, yeah, Zolibi comes in on the other side, and it's a nasty crossfire. Oh, that's a good question. I thought if you stream at 60 FPS, you can't stream at 1080. I thought you could only stream at 720 at 60 FPS. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe things have changed since, you know, like I first started, or, you know, since I remember doing that. But I think that was what I was remembering, was that to do it at 1080, you had to be at 30 FPS. Bob throwing on to the point here from Supershy as Caustic moves on with the sound barrier to try to hold on to this 99 situation. We're going to get a captive Sun out of Mr. Zil. Vale trying to counter with the blade, but his Sunstrucks, oh, it is burnt to a crisp. Supershy take a very convincing map 1 here on Nepal. No, I have fantastic internet. I got that Dallas internet. I get like 1,200 upload. Internet would not be the issue. Yeah, I guess I was thinking it was a Twitch thing. Hey, if I can run 1080 at 60 FPS, I absolutely will. I absolutely will. All right, we don't have much time to look at stats. In fact, I'm not even going to leave the copyright-free music up. Let's just go ahead and turn that right back down. Blizzard World Music's too good to overwrite that. I mean, pretty dominant map 1, as you would expect. The stats do reflect that here from Supershy. Lunar does not die, I guess, is probably the biggest standout there. 18-0 there from Lunar. Double check in here for our bans. This is a Supershy map pick for map number 2. It was a Numbani ban out of Veltto. Looking at your hero bans. Let me check sides. Oh, we are going to get a side swap. Veltto ban Tracer. Supershy ban Kiri. We're on a Winston defense. No change from the DPS here from Supershy as they headed to map 2. Very convincing map 1, in case you missed it. If you're just joining us. It was a pretty swift 2-0 there on Nepal for Supershy. Oops, that was not the right button. Sorry, y'all. I was trying to go to Reich Pop and I accidentally hit F12. My bad. Woo, first pick there for Reich. You know what? Apparently my instincts were good. I should have just stuck with it. Finds that first blood on his Libby, getting the Ash off the back line. Needs to stay alive. I know Twitch is a lot more persnickety than YouTube on bit rates and upload values and all that, as far as resolution of frames and all that, resolution FPS. Well, what a done here for Veltto, exactly what they needed. Jump back into this series, not let this momentum fall too far behind. A beautiful kill there on Libby. And Vil made that one just look clean and easy. So high guard control here from Veltto. Lunar still hanging out down low. The supports in that back little safety nest. Hiding behind the masks. Lunar with the dive in. That was a nano boost thrown onto Reich, actually. Dropping the OC from the high ground. Ooh! Finds Libby's head. Yeah, had the time to line that one up. Didn't feel very threatened at all. Lunar does come in for the bailout, but not before Zolidi falls as well. But just give me a nano engage to try to come back and recontest on this fight. Supershy thinks this is winnable with a nice nade landing from Rysu, and they may be right. Sleep Dart gets eaten by the defense matrix, but Ghostic is still in trouble. Self-destruct out might be enough to cover. A little bit of a mental reset for both of our teams, actually. We come back in with the rally. Blade available from Vale. Into the back line goes Lunar. Here comes Vale looking for some supports of their own. Goes chopping on a message to Zool. Will pick up the kill. Lunar with 1 health. Ghostic there to finish it off. And then dash through just for some style points. And that's going to be Veltto back above 5 minutes on the board. Now with 2 points up there. Yeah. Hopesack, I'm all about giving you all the best quality I can. I've got the internet for it. So if I can do it, I will absolutely look into doing that. I appreciate the suggestion. For real. Blade and Rally to hold on to this if they even need it. A good nade out of Ricey will do the trick as well. Oh, I thought for a second I actually got the Sleep Dart kill. I'm still not convinced they didn't. Has anybody seen a Sleep Dart kill in some time? I feel like that was a Sleep Dart kill, but we just didn't get the little, well, I don't know, the little Sleep Dart pistol icon up in the corner. The Trent gun. Rally in. Blade up from J9 here to accompany it. And there's not much to fend it off. Ollie goes down first thing, targeting the Ono right out of the gate. Who's holding the only ultimate there for Veltto. So that 515's been cut down to under 4. Now we got Nano and Overclock to work with. Rax has been good with these here in map 2. Keep an eye on Rice, who's sitting very high up in the corner. Is going to drop that nano boost down into Lunar. Can Ollie stay alive through this? Ghostic receives the nano from the other side. Trying to peel for the back line. Isn't kind of caught in the middle. Just end up DMing a little bit of health. Does eventually fall back. It's enough. Lunar is able to get out one piece. They're going to chase for the self-destruct. Never mind using it to get back in mech. Let's just yeet that bad boy in. Kind of forced the Supershy to go hide in the corners, looking to try to pick him out, but Lunar has responded. This is forced Ghost's hand. Full back and peel. Wrench with the OC. Finds Olivia out of the back lines. We enter the second stage of this fight. +2 here to Veltto. A very low Caustic has already backed up for some heals. Now they're able to push back in, see if they can take advantage of this player lead. Late picks come through on the supports, and first stage of point C has been picked up. Yeah, me too, Maddie. These games are also, like, the EMEA games are an hour later for us here in the NA. Actually, all the games are an hour later. But, because the EMEA's clocks haven't moved forward yet, but ours have. Why they're different, I don't know. Whoever decided that this half of the world should move their clocks forward a month earlier than the other half of the world just deserves a good flogging. Nice push here at the end on the back of a nano boost on a Ghost Stick and a good blade from Vale. It's going to be a cap here with a couple minutes left, and apparently Ghost Stick has been proven correct. They are, in fact, warmed up. I mean, again, 2 minutes on the clock here against the #1 undefeated team and on Supershy's map pick, no less. So, I'd mentioned at the top of the series, I expected Supershy to come out here and win. That is the expected result. Veltto have nothing to lose. If they got completely bottomed out here in Blizzard World, they'd been like, yep, that's kind of what we expected. But no. They cap point A first go. They cap point B with 5:15 left in the bank. And they will put all three on the board with over 2 minutes remaining. After finally getting warmed up there on the Nepal, apparently. I mean, yeah, you know, that Lucio player is trying to be cheeky on you, Maddie. That Lucio player is trying to be cheeky. You know, making sure you're paying attention, I think, is it. Hey, wait, that's a cool little rollout. How have I never noticed that little rollout? I play my fair share. I guess I don't really play Brig on this map. I've never... Are you going to demonstrate it for us again? Look at Lucio kind enough to demonstrate it for us twice. All right, can Veltto tie up this series? What a statement it would be. Even just taking one map would be incredible. That's how you got to do it, though, right? One foot in front of the other, one step at a time. All right. Little move to go try to take Griffin. Both tanks end up dropping back. Both taking a fair amount of damage. Moment to breathe here in the chaos. J9 pushing around that flank side. Vale keeping him marked for the moment. So keep an eye on the kill favoring the change over there. Meanwhile, keep an eye on Lunar. Yep, backline dive. Lucio and Ollie have been forced out. J9 does end up winning that duel. That means the supports are going to land right in J9's left. Okay, J9 actually came back to this other side. Thought Jada might have an opportunity to push in. It's going to be Lunar who actually takes position here on these stairs. And Supershy looking to one and done point A as well. Maddie didn't give you the sleep icon. I mean, environmental kills don't always give icons for kills anyway. Sometimes they just show up as somebody fell off. And not a boop. Vale and J9 dueling it out. This time on main while the tanks battle for high ground. Ollie does have a nano boost. I could anticipate, or he could go to Ghost Stick if they want to get aggressive on this. Ooh, could be used defensively here. J9 close to that blade, trying to force his way in. Does get the blade up, and Lunar gets the nano. Blade is shut down. Nice play there out of Ghost Stick. What are you going to do about this Primal? On the coastal edge. Ollie's got to be careful. Still getting juggled, but Lunar doesn't pursue. Falls back to the front line and focus down Ranch instead. Take the DPS out of this fight. Supershy still just kind of bunched up on the point. They have not been able to get a lot of map control. That was a great nade from Raisu, forcing Vale into an uncomfortable spot. So let me thought about popping up there for a moment. Is actually going to come out low ground here with this overclock. Rally invested out of Lucio. Doesn't last. Metsutazul has their own in the fight. And it's going to be good enough to spend off this yet another Poco Bomb in from Ghost Stick. You gotta love it. When's the last time you saw somebody genuinely just throwing in self-destructs to try to get a kill? I mean, you know, it doesn't work, but it's fun. It's fun.
This ends now.
That's Wrench with the overclock out of the back line. It just forces Olivia off the flank. Definitely can't let Zalibi get entrenched over there. It's gonna be very difficult to keep your back line alive through that. Zolibi's been so fantastic. One of the big reasons I think Supershy have found so much success has just been Zolibi's continual improvement week in and week out. The nano boost engage here, not really finding much as Vale goes into the back line, trying to counterpunch with a blade. Oh, takes a couple shots, just forced to kind of wait that blade out. Lunar put in pressure. Feeling, I mean, this is just a Sunday stroll for an angry monkey. The nano boost was invested onto Lucio through that, so Lunar's just going to circumvent the brig. Leaps in, finds a low ghosting, a lot of pressure in. J9 with a dash through. Gets Bio, forced to deflect it back up to the Mega, but is able to find it, survives through it all. Lucio still low. And Veltto really feeling the squeeze right now as Lunar continues to press down with this Vice. Bow support's now gone. And Supershy threatening to cap with an even better time bank. There's a rally for this defense. Actually, a rally for both sides. Ooh. Metsu got stunned before they could finish the voice line. Fortunately, it doesn't cancel the rally. J9 pulls out the blade, and an overclock into this point as well will be more than enough for Supershy to get that third point on the board. We're headed to extras. And I think it sometimes hello. That was a sentence, I swear. I think it sometimes shows up and sometimes doesn't there, Maddie. Like, it's supposed to show up, it just doesn't consistently show up. I don't know. We can go back in slow-mo with that one particular kill. I swear that was a sleep dart kill. Sleep dart does how much damage? Question for you in chat. How much damage does a sleep dart do? That's your quiz for the day. Maddie's usually pretty good at these quizzes, but this one is not lore relevant. Oh yeah, Dimitri. I'll get my full schedule released today. Let's see. What did I have lined up here? I can at least tell you what I was thinking about doing tonight. I believe I was going to get, actually, Alvernia Uni on tonight for the first time. I don't believe we'd seen Alvernia Uni on yet, so I was going to get a couple of new teams on tonight. I was actually thinking about getting y'all on Wednesday versus Wizards Cats, though, Dimitri. I think that'll be a banger. I know we're going to, going into playoffs, I want to make sure we get coverage to as many teams as possible before we get into the postseason, so. And we had a lot of top 5 bangers last week. I focused on nothing but top 5 bangers last week, so. Getting a couple teams on tonight that we haven't seen yet, I believe. It has not been finalized yet, but that's the plan. I'm going to finalize that schedule shortly following the stream, as a matter of fact. I mean, Veltto is a unique breed, all right? There's an elevated human. That is not the norm. We cannot judge ourselves by the bar that Veltto sets, okay? That's just not fair to the rest of us. All right, 60 seconds in overtime here. Of course, entering overtime, you start with all your perks. So you can see those big, heavy missiles coming out all lunar. Did some initial damage, chopped through the armor a bit, but Lunar's got a pretty fast primal rage here. Ahead of any ultimate there from Veltto. And it's going to be enough to thwart this attack. Question is, do Veltto get reset in time, stabilized for one last final push here on Blizzard World? Fail with a swap over to far to try to make that happen. There you go, man. I had a feeling you'd know that. I had a feeling you would know that. And that is exactly right. 5 damage from a sleep dart. That's why it's so cool if you get a sleep dart kill. It means they were literally under 5 health. And you hit the dart. Nano boost engaged from the defense. Let's keep an eye on the point. Raisu is Nano. We're going to get Ghostic coming in. This is going to be a 3v5 push here out of Veltto, but they do have a rally to back them up. Ghostic gets whip shot out of the back line. Says, nope, never mind. I'm trying to get the brig. Far is down. Lucio's down. Blade out of J9. There'll be no progress here in extras out of Veltto.
This ends now. Score 3-3. Switching sides.
I figured you did, Maddie. I figured you did.
Initiating match.
Fried chicken actually sounds good. I've been trying to not eat much fried food.
Ready for battle.
I like Sour Patch Kids. I like Sour Patch Kids. It's usually like a movie theater thing for me. It's not something, I don't eat a lot of candy. I mean, I don't really have a sweet tooth. Fun fact, I'm allergic to milk and eggs. So, like, I didn't get birthday cake growing up. You know, like, I've just never, I don't eat much sweets or desserts. But I will get some Sour Patch Kids, like, at a movie theater. And that's, I do enjoy some Sour Patch Kids. 33% native Supershy here to go up to match point. No changes in composition. Zillimi's moved over to a Sojourn at some point. They started on an Ash, but moved over to the Sojourn attack and stuck with that Sojourn. Oh, Rash with a good pick. That'll eat some time off the clock. And slow down Old Charge. I think if Veltto can get to their ult cycle first and start setting the pace here, then there is definitely a chance to send us to map 3 still at a 1-0 scoreline. Those first opening picks will do a good job in that regard. The implosive concussion at play there for Vale. J9's made a swap over to a Far of their own. There's no more Genji there. Played over this top left side. We'll get the nano boost. Dives in. One direct onto the brig. Vale goes down, but has a nano of their own. Looking quite resilient. The dash away. Still can't escape the grasp of J9. And Supershy get what they need here. Push it up to 2-0. Some Maps 2 stats for you, friends. Definitely a better look out of Veltto. They're able to cap with a ton of time. I mean, they didn't take the map, but I think they definitely put up a good fight there, particularly on the attack. Oh, hey, I've got a hippie in here. All right, heading to map 3. It is back to a Veltto map pick at the very least. Esperanca is the pick. No ban on push. Double check to make sure that's still the case. Yeah, no ban on push. We also got Veltto banning out the Tracer, if I saw that in chat correctly. Supershy banning out the Torp. Go get those plugged in for you. So it says, guys, we're holding up the content. I mean, the content is just me talking about food. Duh, says Lucio. Y'all are making me hungry. All right, ready to do Esperanca here for map number 3. Veltto have been able to overcome their first tough test of the season in their last match against Potofu. But so far, this one has been a tough ask. It's been a tough ask. They're gonna have to turn it around here at Esperanca. If they wanted to try to start taking this one back, let's even start working towards a 10-1 overall score line. Unless Supershy, whoops, that is not the right button. Unless Supershy moves up to 11-0, stays undefeated. And would have quite a significant gap. Veltto is the only team left with less than 2 losses other than Supershy. So with a win today, Supershy would put themselves, a couple of games out of reach from the top teams and would have already beaten everybody ranked 2 through 7 underneath them. We'll take a look at the standings here after this series and see how it truly pans out. You know what? Hopefully that won't be for a few more maps and we get a banger and Veltto can make this one competitive and surprise all of us. But right now, it's Supershy in control in the driver's seat and have been setting the pace with this one. We did get a side swap here. I set the bands correctly for the swap sides and I forgot to actually swap the sides. Meaning Veltto did ban the Tracer, Supershy did ban the Tor. Yeah. Okay, we saw Veil pull out the far there. Map 2 is going to stick with it here at Esperanca. A lot more of an open map, yeah, and just kind of gets caught in the middle. Very dangerous situation. It was an all or nothing. Either you hit the shot or you get shot. And so Libby made that decision for Veil, who's promptly going to swap over into the Genji to match Jaina. Ghostic picks up a kill on the J9. I believe was shooting at Lunar and caught J9 in the crossfire. Is kind of how that looked to me. I could be wrong. Lunar's gonna have to bail out on this as Mr. Tazul goes down for the 2nd time in this map already. First fight, we'll go over to Veltto. Once again, another good start. I will say this team's got some great mental. They take a beating and just keep on fighting, just keep on ticking. Has the Lily marked across the way. Jen has worked up to the high ground, and Ranch just slides down below. Looks like Veltto tried to just flip the map here. They're going to get the checkpoint on the back of this Kitsune Rush protecting the cap, and Ghostic picked up Zolibi. I didn't see if Zolibi tried to drop down or not, but may have tried to go contest and just gets mowed down. May have just got hit with some poke damage. But Lunar comes through the inside, over the top, has a Primal to work with, trying to get aggressive with Rice throwing in a Kitsune Rush with it as well. Sound barrier invested from Lucio, though, might just fend off 3 ultimates in 1. Okay, Ghost does eventually go down, as does Veil. So, nope, scratch that. It was too much pressure there from the triple ultimates out of Supershy. They do eventually win it out. I thought for a moment that, that sound barrier out of Lucio was so perfectly timed. I thought mine had just been able to devalue Kitsune Rush, Cage, and, it wasn't Cage at the time, it was Primal, and Blade. Lunar does make that swap. That nearly confused me there. Haha, I was on top of it. You won't fool me that easy. I mean, actually, you probably would. But so let me coming in with an overclock. We got a cage fight invested out as well, though, out of Caustic. But it fins off some damage out of the OC, but Lunar still comes up on top there in the close quarters battle. Lunar is low. A pick there would have been nice. Honestly, I think a boop out of Lucio knocked him out of the crossfire or out of Wrench's railgun shot there. Kitsune wants to re-engage. You want to move up high ground to throw it? Okay, nope. We're just going to hold on to it. Actually, Supershy forced to kind of give up this high ground. They were waiting for Jaina to get back in this fight, it looked like. No ultimates for Supershy. Oh, J9 died to tick damage. Good spot, Maddie. Good spot. Bladed for both of our Genjis. There, might as well go check in on one. J9 got cut down by Veil. Might as well go check in on the other. The 1-for-1 trade on DPS. Oh, and the sound barrier just a split second late to save Ghostic on that corner. And you get Luna running in, see if they can finish off what's left, and oh, that's one of those things that could be dangerous here for Veltto. Losing that important ultimate with Mesut Özil holding on to theirs. So not winning the fight, investing that very important ultimate. Worst of both worlds, and Mesut Özil might be able to just leverage another fight win here. We'll see if Supershy are forced to use both of their support ults in this next fight. Ideal situation, both support ults invested, and Veltto still winning. Obviously, that's ideal situation for Veltto fans out there. Good start with Veil coming up with the first pick. Mesut Özil won't get the sound barrier in, but with Lunar's cage fight, the player advantage firmly in the hands of Supershy here. So it's one support ult invested, one fight win. Hey, you know what? Could that thievery be enough to prevent the cap? This is going to be close. Yeah, Caustic is absolutely going to go for this. Pops the cardiac overdrive. There's the Suzu win. Wrench comes in from the other side with the crossfire and the overclock. So Libby has the first OC from the high ground, though. Actually, drop down low. Find Ollie. Gets taken out as Veil continues with the chase. Stuck to him like a bad smell. Runs away with the bot for the second time. And Veil with the big hero play with the steal prevents the captain. Look how close that checkpoint was up at the bar at the top of your screen. What a play there. Veltto able to stay on top here with less than 4 minutes to go. Now have a bevy of ults to work with. They've been able to overcome what could have been a very dangerous economy situation. Sound barrier invested in from Mesut Özil finally into this fight, but J9 is already down. Lucio failed here from Raisu, but Wrench is going to answer. Had like 1 health before the heals come in. The Kitsune here to help bolster Veltto in what feels like a critical fight in the middle of the map. Lunar and Mesut coming up with kills. Wrench trying to equal. Had about 50 health when they popped the OC. See if they can make something of it. Suzu use Ollie hiding inside the little cubby. Lunar just went running past. A late kill on to Lucio does not bode well. He was hopeful to get that sound barrier up sooner rather than later to try to re-engage into that. Unfortunately, it's going to be a checkpoint on the back of that kill here for Supershy. Again, unfortunately for Veltto fans. Unfortunately for those of us hoping for a map 5. .230 on the clock. J9 emerges in the back line with Kitsune Rush to back him up and a blade to work with. He's going to go ahead and pop that bad boy out. There's a sound barrier to go through. Oh, but it looks like that baseline is not fat enough. J9 will just slice right through. This is going to be Supershy on the precipice of the lead here. What could be the final map of the series if they can hold on to it? contested from Ghostic. Just in the nick of time to prevent that late from coming through, but Zolibi has an OC on the point. Ollie goes down at the hands of Raisu, and Ghostic at the hands of this overclock. Veil trying to hold on to it, but that is it. The yellow line has not been crossed. J9 will find a couple picks. That's the lead. Supershy trying to see if they can force a fight in the streets. They're able to get reinforcements back. So really nice soft disengage up to the high ground. Here comes that Kitsune rush, but Ollie just gets mowed over. Fed to a lawnmower. Didn't stand a chance. Never mind the Kitsune rush. Did not help at the slightest. Supershy are going to put together multiple fight wins consecutively here. Extend this lead. Less than a minute to go here. Oh, overclock available for Ranch. Not much else with the Kitsune Rush being expended in that previous fight. Double support from Supershy. Kitsune Rush invested early in the fight. Ghostic stops their overrun to try to hold the line with that Kitsune Rush going to the back. Knows they have to try and peel, but no amount of efforts will stop this Supershy behemoth from pushing through. The Supershy stomp. Cage fight from Acoustic here to try to hold on. J9 at the door with the Dragon Blade. Sound Barrier from Essence Azul to try to cap it out. Actually, it's a later one there from Lucio. Still no kills going in Veltto's favor. As they try to fend off this cap. Overclock throw it in from Zolibi. Could just be the nail in the coffin. And a pair of kills will be that. GG's in the chat. It's a 3-0 here from Supershy.
Frenetics regulated.
And they officially stand alone at the top of the pack. Lunar with another outstanding day. Zolibi. I mean, both of them 33 and 3. They're in that map. Zolibi leading in damage there at 12,900. Yes. Yes, indeedy. Okay. All right. I think we're going to get Zolibi in here for a little bit of an interview. Let me get this set up. Amazing. Yes. Let's do it.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Yeah.
I appreciate you taking the time to come talk with me. Congrats on the dub.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. I mean, it's been a hell of a season. Well, I mean, now you've officially beaten, what is the next 1, 2, 3, 6, 7 opponents beneath you?
I think we've beaten most of the harder teams.
Yeah, that's how it's looking. That's how it's looking. How are you feeling about it so far? Were you expecting at the start of this season to be 10-0 and basically have first seed secured at this point?
Pretty much. At the start of the season, I was like, we get at least top 2, right? And then like as it's gone on, I've just been like, oh, we're just winning it. Like, I don't see a way we lose it.
What's one of the keys to the success? What's one of those keys? What makes you so confident?
I think we do just have the best individuals, which helps, you know. You got the best individuals that can put on carry performances, it really helps. But also, we've just been getting better as a team. We've been going on as well. Like, we haven't had the most scrims recently, which, you know, we could have taken a bit of a downfall because of it. But, like, we're trying to get more scrims, and we're all motivated to win, so I think that really helps as well.
I mean, it makes a huge difference. It makes a huge difference. When you have that motivation, it feels like it's easier to to give feedback, and everybody's kind of, when you're talking about the matches, and your comment, everybody knows that it's all in the name of the dub, and everybody just getting better. It's not being critical of individuals. Does that sound right? Does that feel correct for this team?
Most of the time when we lose, it's like we talk to each other and we try and sort it out. And we can get a little mad about it, but like we try our best to sort it out because we know that we shouldn't be losing, or like we shouldn't be having it close in some situations, so we need to do it better. But usually we get it sorted out quickly as well, which is nice.
What's the long-term expectations? I think at this point, obviously, I feel like y'all would be disappointed if you don't take expert. How far do you think you can take this thing?
Well, personally, I was looking for at least, of course, first and expert this season, and I want to make playoffs in Masters next season as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I think that's a very doable goal, my friend. I think that's very doable. I don't have much else for you. I mean, it's been an amazing season. I feel like y'all legit have the #1 seed locked in after like one game in week 6. Like, it's insane. It's insane.
Yeah, it's really good.
Any shout outs you want to give or anything before I let you get out of here? The floor is yours.
I just shout out to my team. They're all doing great, and we're gonna keep going.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Thank you for coming and talk with me. Let's do it again soon.
Thank you, man. Thank you for streaming the games.
Oh, you bet. You bet. It's a kid and it's an honor.
Okay.
All right, you have a good one.
See you, man. Thank you.
There you go. We'll talk with Olivia there for winner's interview. It's our first chat with Olivia. That's awesome. That's awesome. I mean, there wasn't much nitty-gritty strategy to talk about in that interview, right? I mean, it's just been an outstanding season. It's not very often. It's not very often you get a season of this caliber. Let's go back and take a look at those standings we were talking about. Now, I mean, it's gonna be refreshed here. The next opponent is 2 losses beneath them. And they have, in fact, and it is still Veltto as of right now. That's just because these other matches haven't concluded, right? Mevdron and Negative Mental haven't concluded. Good Guys is actually playing Mevdron as we speak. If this match had gotten postponed, which there was a talk of this match getting postponed, I would have gotten Mevdron versus Good Guys on. But I had to get Veltto on. I had to know what the squad was about, and I'm very happy we did. It wasn't the most competitive match we've had all season, but I'm so glad we got a look at this just crazy Rubik's Cube of a squad that is Veltto. And I mean, they've definitely got some chops on them. Like, you don't full cap Blizzard World with 2+ minutes left on Supershy's map pick against the #1 seed without doing something right. You're doing something right. Maybe the whole map didn't go in your favor, but we definitely saw some wonderful promise there out of this Veltto squad. Look forward to seeing more out of them. But Supershy, just wow. They're on track for a spectacular season. They truly have gotten all of their hardest opponents out of the way already, and could very feasibly have a perfect season here, which I don't think I have witnessed yet. I don't think I have seen a team go completely undefeated through regular season in my time in FACEIT League. I've seen a couple of 1-loss seasons. Y'all correct me on that. Have we had a full undefeated season yet since season 2? Season 1, I wasn't here. Millicent, thank you for the follow, by the way. Millicent, excuse me. I'm Millicent. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you being here. I mean, Supershy are on track to do it. I don't know. I can't remember exactly 100% concrete if it's been done before. I don't think it has. Supershy are on track to do it. They're on track to do it. All right. I got lots to do today. I'm going to go ahead and leave you with that. We're not going to dawdle. No shout out to Jay's T Swift music. I think you just did that, Loader. I think you just did that. So I'm gonna go ahead and send you on your way. I mean, for real, Hope Stackle, an incredible season so far out of Supershy, and I'm fairly confident like they mathematically have the #1 seed locked already, with 5 matches left to play. Like, it's insane. It's insane. It's what a great season out of Supershy so far. But I'm going to leave you at that. I think I'm going to send you over to Spectrion, who's also covering some matches. So y'all keep enjoying some more FACEIT League. Really appreciate all the support. Be awesome humans to each other, and I will see y'all a little bit later for some NA. Bye, friends.